Alright, now that we got the grinder assembled, you got everything cut up, one thing you want to do is your casings. I prefer natural casing. These are actually hog casings, and you're looking for the 32 to 35 millimeter. Now when you pick the casings out, especially if they're natural, you really want them to look just like this. You want the package to be tight so it looks like it's been vacuum packed. If it's at all puffed up or really loose, avoid buying those. That means some air got into it. One of the big things that bacteria need to grow is air. So don't use them. Opening those up would probably be like smelling feta cheese in a sweat sock. Not something that you want to do. So anyway, these are really good. So I'm going to open these up. Now, I don't know if it's open up right, but there's another type of casing out there that you can use. It's called a collagen casing. It's actually manufactured. It's not a natural. They are edible. This thing is giving me a heck of a time. But anyway, I don't really like them. They're not, to me they're too tough. And the natural casings really give you that snap that you like when you bite into a hot dog or a bratwurst. Now these are packed in salt, and when you pull them out, first of all, they don't smell the greatest, but that's okay. When you pull them out, they're going to look just like this. Kind of look like a bunch of dried up rubber bands. Now, according to the manufacturer, if you're only going to do a small amount, you can't actually separate these. However, if you have ever put your Christmas tree lights away in a hurry and then got them out the next year, this is kind of what you're dealing with. What I plan on doing is I'm doing a bunch of brats today, so I'm going to use this whole batch. And what you want to do is come over here to the sink. Just get yourself some warm water running. You don't want real hot, you don't want real cold. Somewhere in the middle. And if they do smell a little funky, that's natural as long as the package isn't broke. But what we're going to do is rinse these out multiple times. Multiple times. You're going to want to let them soak for anywhere from a half an hour to an hour. If they soak a little bit longer, that's not a big deal. It's not going to hurt anything. But after you rinse them off a couple times, you're going to want to rinse the container out. There's going to be some salt and other stuff in the bottom of it. Throw them back in. Fill this container back up. Make sure they're submerged. That's the biggest thing, is to make sure they're completely submerged. Now the other thing you're going to want to do is about every 10 or 15 minutes you're going to want to change this water. So we're going to be doing that a few times throughout this process. But again, half an hour to an hour or longer, what you're looking for, and you'll see the difference here after these soak for a while. They plump up, they get pliable, and that's what you're looking for. So let's go back over here. Now when we get the chicken out, I put it away while we were doing that. Got the chicken back out. We're ready to grind. I've got my plunger in place. And like I said, I like to work in 5-pound batches. This is about 5 pounds. Little ounce or two off either way, it's not going to hurt a whole lot. Now I've got the cut up pork fat, I've got the breast meat, and I've got the leg meat in here. What I want to do is just give it a little mix. So as you're feeding it through, you're getting a little bit of everything every time. So I'm going to set that right there. I'm going to grab one of these containers I've got. Now the other thing that I like about this grinder, it's got a forward and a reverse button. You're on and off. It's also got a circuit breaker. So in case you do start to overload it, you can actually pop the breaker before you do any damage. So we're going to go ahead and plug this guy in right there. Now I'm just going to show you how to get this thing going because it is kind of loud and obnoxious sounding. So what I'm going to do is just kind of get it going, and then we're going to stop filming until I get it all ground down, and then we'll turn it back on in a minute. So just hit your on button. Like I said, it's loud. Basically, this is what you're going to do for the whole 5 pounds. You're just going to run it through. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and finish this out real quick. We're going to take a quick break. I'm going to finish running this out. And then, as soon as I get done with the grinding, what am I going to do? I'm going to cover it. And then what am I going to do? I'm going to keep it cold and I'm going to put it in the freezer. Again, for at least another 30 minutes. You have to maintain that very low temperature. Something that some people, will tell you to do is put an ice bath under this container. If you don't want to have to keep refreezing it, that'll keep the mixture cold. I don't personally like to do that. It's too much, it's kind of a mess. So grind it, cover it, put it back in the freezer. That's the simplest way you're going to stay safe. So I'm going to get back to doing this.